all good. I mean, I was available. I was in town. And Ryan actually had a play date with across the street, so he was having a heyday with iPad stuff. So he was engaged.
Good job of getting the schedule set for Ron. It's just the things that happen like this.
We were able to keep the service.
You gotta come check out the hotel. We're gonna take it out of the driver's there.
They just don't wanna pay the money to get it done, I guess.
All this meeting to order. Yeah, 3 seats facing forward.
Yeah, it requires somebody going personally to each.
I guess with Reed trying that second time, they came out, you were already on.
It's on, but I need Randy batteries and his mics.
Testing. Anywhere. You guys aren't able to hear us.
Out here. There? Okay. Call the meeting to order. Everybody, pledge of allegiance first, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Gallagher.
Here.
Gallagher.
Here.
Scarborough.
Here.
Showers.
Here.
Freeman.
Here.
Okay, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda. Go ahead.
Before we do that, you should each of you should have 3 sets of documents in front of you. The first of which is an amended consent agenda. The only change being I'm sorry. Yes, on page 1, the initial consent agenda, or the initial minutes, did not include the separation that Alderman Gallagher had requested to vote on the increase for Jen Gallagher, and that was captured in the amended minutes. And then well, I'll just say the other 2, which we'll get to, were the charts that Alderman Gallagher will discuss and the minutes from the Parks and Rec board.
Make a motion that we approve the updated consent agenda.
Is there a second?
A second.
All right, any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Showers.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Thank you. At this point, I'm gonna request that we take the agenda out of order and take care of some old business with Ron Calger.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay. Any questions, discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Showers.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Okay, Ron, you're up.
Thank you. Good evening, Ron Calger, AGC Engineers, 405 South Leonard, Liberty, Missouri, here on behalf of the city tonight. It's a pleasure to see some new faces that I haven't seen in a while and some faces that I've not seen in a while, I guess. Some faces that I'm familiar with but haven't seen in a while. So every periodically the city tries to do their annual cleaning of the sewer mains. That requires us to go out in that, like a big jetter that goes inside of the sewer lines. It cleans it, then we televise it. We're looking for, number one, we're trying to clean it. Number two, we're looking for any kind of breaks or maladies that may exist in the sewer line so that we can keep those in good shape and operating the way that they're supposed to. Chris tries to do a third to a quarter periodically as we go, depending on the budget available in your city budget. So this year we did about 24,000 square feet, or excuse me, 24,000 linear feet. We had 7 bidders, which we were very happy about. And we opened those bids and we have evaluated those, and in your packet, you should have a September 8th recommendation of award letter from us recommending HydroClean LLC, recommending that you award them that contract, and then also issue a notice to proceed dated October 6th of 2025. The contract amount was $52,074.55. I will just say that sometimes, because that's the purpose, it's a cleaning of the sanitary sewer lines, but it's also exploratory. We never know what we're going to find. If there's a break, we may be needing to come back to you and say, how do you want us to proceed in fixing that break? At that time, we would hopefully have the cost associated with that.
So this could be a 2-part.
Yeah, knock on wood, we're done with it after $52,000, or you're done with it after $52,000, and all the lines get cleaned. We get them all recorded. That's the other important thing, is we have that data from the previous years that we've done the work in the city, that Chris has the availability to go back to and review whatever segment he needs to review.
So when you say data, will we have access to use Esri software, shape files, and different things with that? Will you be able to share that information with Chris?
Yeah, no, Chris actually ends up with it. I'm not sharing.
Okay.
It's
All
actually
right.
your
Awesome.
all's data. And there's nothing better than bringing home a sanitary sewer video,
Woohoo!
bumping it in and grabbing a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, so then with that said, how many years of data have you shared with the Pleasant Valley utilities? Or will this be the first?
Oh, no, he has everything.
Okay.
He has it all. In fact, if I need to look at something,
Okay.
he shares it with me.
Okay. So that includes shape files for the past how many years?
Yeah, and so I'm not, they're frankly just JPEG videos, aren't they? They're just,
Okay.
and they're just on a thumb
All
drive.
right. So with them being JPEGs, are there at least coordinates and address on it? I'm just trying to get a sense of how that, how your database works.
No, great. So, gosh, years ago, probably 20 years ago, our company went out and surveyed all the manholes within the city. So we know where those are, right? So if one gets paved over, we can find it. Now, that's not to say that Chris has found some subsequent manholes that weren't, they get buried, they're under a whiskey barrel in somebody's front yard. We update that map. That is in an AutoCAD format. I don't know if you even have a copy of that, because he doesn't have a file. He has them in PDF formats with all the coordinates.
So can we get the AutoCAD files? Because this can be easily converted in like different software.
Sure. If you have the software to drive it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like you know what you're doing. So,
yeah, and
I guess from the beginning of time, I guess, can we get that data set?
Well, so I don't, there is no beginning of time. It's just the survey file that has an aerial image underlay, which is extremely old. Back at that time, there wasn't Google Earth. There wasn't a way to go out and extract it off of the internet like there is today. So we had aerial photogrammetry flown for the city. And then we overlaid our survey data on top of it.
Okay,
So it, the current file is available.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Now that underlay, that image is 20 years old.
Okay. So, I mean, it would be nice just to have it for
Sure.
our repository
Sure.
and then build on from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, if you can manipulate it, you could actually add to it. And I think there's a copy of PDFs here. Chris has a PDF as well as multiple hard copies, I think, but the hard copies always get
Yeah.
messed up.
Mhm.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
On the topic of the bids,
Uh-huh.
we know that we're gonna get a spread of bids.
Sure.
Nobody's ever gonna say the same job costs the same amount
Yeah,
of money.
yeah.
Can you help put the 7 bids into context?
Yeah,
Why we
sure.
got one at a base amount and then another 300% greater?
Yeah. You always have those,
Yeah.
well, I shouldn't say you always have those. It's not uncommon to have those outliers, right? In fact, the gentleman that I think was in the 6 digits, he even said, yeah, my boss just he wanted to get a token bid in there so that he could get his name known and get on the bid list and so on and so forth. So we actually thought that it would be somewhere around that 55 to 60,000. So it came in right where we were at. Construction pricing, just like the price of a refrigerator or a gallon of paint when you go to Home Depot, is so crazy right now. It's very difficult to understand what something's going to cost in the construction world or in any world. But so we were very happy. There was a bunching, there was a grouping of bids in that that low to mid 50 range, and then there was another grouping, and then there were just some crazy outliers.
Oh, cool, thank you.
You bet. Good questions.
Okay. So at this time, I'm looking for any other questions? How about a motion to accept Ron's recommendation?
I'll make a motion to accept Ron's recommendation, and it's in ordinance form.
Okay,
So do we want to accept the recommendation, or do we just want to approve the ordinance?
no, we can approve the ordinance now if you'd like.
I'll make a motion that we read bill.
Yeah, I want to hear a motion to approve bill number 3615 on the first and place it on the second.
So we
I'm sorry, we need to actually have it read first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Hydro Clean LLC for certain maintenance work.
Okay. So the motion stands, John?
Yes, the motion stands to
Okay.
approve on first and place on second reading.
And do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
That was Gallagher. All right, any further discussion on this? Please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Okay. Matthew, please read Council Bill number 3615 on this for the second time.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Hydro Clean LLC for certain maintenance work.
Do I hear a motion to approve Council Bill 3615 on the second reading
Second.
and adopted as ordinance 3614?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion that's coming up? Okay, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman.
All righty.
Thank you.
Motion approved. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go back to public comments and guests. Jennifer, would you please step forward?
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to formally meet everybody. I'm Jennifer Baird with Law Firm Municipal Law. I'm super excited to be representing the city in kind of a different capacity than what we have in the past. So I love that we are continuing to work with you guys. And so just looking forward to, I know you all have a lot going on, so I'm looking forward to working with you.
We are very happy to have you.
Thank you, thank you. And the good thing is what you don't see behind me is that there's 16 other attorneys that you've also hired with our firm, and each of us have a specialty of some kind. So you may be talking to Todd Smith in our Jeff City office because he's the guru, is what we call them, of the police officer bill of rights. So whenever those questions come up, we have him. Sometimes there's sunshine law questions. Nathan Nicholas in our Jeff City office wrote the Sunshine Law book for the Missouri Bar. So, I mean, we just have some experts in our firm and that deal with nothing but city issues. And so we're looking forward to working with you.
So we have specialized people.
You do have specialized people, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you may not always see me here, you may see someone else here, but yeah, you have a whole law firm at your disposal.
Great. Okay, well, one of the reasons that we ask you here tonight is, first of all, to meet everybody, and secondly, to kind of talk to us about some specific issues.
Okay.
The first one has to do with the R&L carrier property, and most of the people on the board, including myself, was not around in 2015. So we kind of need to start from there and understand how we got to here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So I kind of anticipated this question, thanks to Matthew. And so as I was going back through my notes, I'm like, wow, I can understand why all the questions, because a lot has happened on that property. So I kind of had to make a few notes for myself, but so several aspects. So talking about development of that property. So in 2006, the city adopted a comprehensive plan. And so that plan kind of stayed out there. There wasn't much activity done on the plan. And then until 2013, when there was a sustainable places plan that was adopted. And so after that plan was adopted.
What date was that?
That was, I just have 2013.
Okay.
So now we've got sustainable places. The city was looking at how do we create transit? How do we bring more people into the city? How do we create mixed-use development? And so that's what that plan kind of laid out. So then in November of 2015, the city issued a 90-day moratorium on development and issuance of business licenses. Because at the time, the city was working with a third party to kind of help implement that creating sustainability places plan. And so that moratorium was then extended in February of 2016 for another 60 days. So, what they were doing was we're creating legal descriptions. They were looking at rezoning of different properties in the city, and so that's why it was taking a little longer than anticipated. But also in February of 2016, R&L files a lawsuit against the city. Basically, they had someone who was leasing the property at the time, and that lease was getting ready to expire, so they were working with another third party to lease the property, and now this person wasn't able to lease the property because there was a moratorium on any type of, business license, building permits, anything within the city. So they filed that lawsuit. That lawsuit was primarily handled by the city's current, former city attorney's office. So we didn't get really involved in much of that. So that's the piece I'm not really familiar with, except periodically they would ask us questions. But
and at what point in time did the zoning change on that property?
That was in March. So
February 2016.
2016. So in March of 2016, the city actually approved. It was a city-initiated rezoning, and it wasn't just the R&L property. There were numerous properties throughout the city, and again, it was trying to go back to being consistent with the comprehensive plan and with the sustainable places plan. What that rezoning was changed from M1, which was an industrial use, to a C1, which was your commercial. Then in September of 2018, that's when the city decided well, we need to figure out a way to, we want development. This is where, this is an entrance into the city. We want to see some mixed use. And so what the city did was they initiated the TIF plan. They created a TIF plan. And in essence, they created this plan to incentivize clearing of all the blight on the property. Specifically, I think there's 2 buildings on the property. The fence was in disrepair, the concrete's in disrepair. And the idea behind that was to incentivize a developer to come in, and if we gave them incentives to clear the property so it was pad site ready, that was the idea behind the plan, understanding that if we could get a developer, then that developer may want to revise the plan, and that's exactly what happened. So in September of 2018, that's when we approved that city-initiated plan. But then, and then after that, after it was approved, we sent out proposals to developers to say, hey, we've got this site we want to develop. And so Star Development actually responded. And so they submitted their TIF plan, which was approved July of 2019. And in that plan, it included multifamily, but the multifamily portion was not part of the TIF. It was in the TIF. It was in the TIF area, but what is not in the project area. So none of the TIF funds would go to the multifamily. It was also included inline retail. It also includes some retail pad sites and then a 120-room hotel. So that was the original plan that got approved. The project cost was approximately $32 million. Of that, under the TIF plan, we agreed to incentivize about $6.2 million. So then, because after the plan is approved, we were working on getting the TIF contract approved, but also there was, keep in mind that in the background, there's this lawsuit going on. In addition, Star Development wanted to, they were trying to purchase the property, and they were, having issues purchasing the property. So in 2019, the city approved a conditional use permit to allow Streamco to temporarily store and park vehicles from the Claycomo plant on that site.
So they're part of Ford?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think some negotiations weren't going very well between Star Development and R&L to try and get to try and purchase the property. And so Star Development came to the city and said, hey, I think city, you need to condemn the property. And so we started to look at that process in 2020 to condemn it. However, we never had to condemn it because they did come to a compromise. Star Development and R&L did compromise, so now the property is owned by Star Acquisitions. So that's kind of a big high level. There's lots of different pieces, high level, but happy to try and answer any questions from there because that's a lot. There's a lot going on.
So the city at some point paid $300,000 into the purchase of the property by Star Development from R&L Carriers, at which point it appears that we got the C2 designation. Is that correct?
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me make a note here. Okay. Let me check on that.
All right. Because our records show that the $300,000 check
Okay.
was for a land purchase.
Okay. All right. Got it.
And it went to R&L, correct? It didn't go to Star.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, so
It appears to be part of the package, the purchase package.
okay, Right.
The check the city issued was issued to R&L.
to R&L, okay, all right. Let me check on that part.
Okay.
Yeah, let me follow up. Is there another, something else?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
So from 2020, we have Star Development owning the property
right.
to the current 2025.
Yes, I was looking at the, actually on the Clay County website today, and that's what they're showing is that Star Acquisitions does own it.
Okay.
Yes.
And did Lauber have any activity with the city, representing the city from 2020 to 2025 on that property?
I saw just a little bit of activity, meaning it looked like the developer Star was looking at maybe instead of doing hotel, possibly doing some kind of VA home. They were approached, but I don't see a record of it going anywhere beyond, publicly. So yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions?
I know, it's like what to ask. That was a lot to dump on you.
Yes. All right, and there were a couple of other questions that were given to you. Yes, Matthew? No?
I suppose I was supposed to ask.
Well, I've slept since then, unfortunately.
Well, I'm always an email, phone call, whatever away. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
happy to follow up and yes, I'll look at this tomorrow and see if I get you an answer.
That'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
John and I would like you to stay.
Okay.
We'd like to talk to you after the meeting.
Okay.
If that's
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it won't be too late.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We promise.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next is mayor's comments. You all have a sheet of business occupational licenses that are missing in 2025. These are the businesses that do not have any occupational license. The city clerk's office has made numerous attempts. Yes? Can you kind of explain what has gone on with that?
Well, it's been mainly Lisa that has reached out in most cases via email and phone, letting these people know that, in several of these cases, these are people that have had business license with the city previously, so there's no question that they know a business license is needed, and for whatever reason, they have in large part ignored us, and they do not have, and chosen not to get a city license.
There are large and small businesses alike. It doesn't seem to be like the large businesses have ignored us. So I'm kind of looking for direction from the board on what you would like us to do. Long-term, I do have a thought, but I need to speak with Jennifer about that. But if anybody can throw out any other ideas, that would be great. Patrick?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we spoke about redoing the role of the city collector to do this type of activity.
That was one of the avenues.
Okay, where did we land on that? Is it still in limbo? Is it not?
We would have to rewrite the ordinance.
Okay.
And that direction came from Withers and Brandt, and I'm not comfortable with that direction. So I kind of wanted to wait until we had Lauber.
Get a second opinion.
Yes.
Sure, absolutely. The other piece of it is the requirement to have a city business license is in ordinance as well. Are we aware of any penalty? I know there's a financial penalty that's outlined in there. Is there any other penalty besides, hey, there's a fee attached to the bottom of this year's and next year's license?
No,
Okay,
not at this point. Well, there's up to a $500 fee, but Withers and Brandt does not think that that is enforceable.
okay. So from my perspective, I think that there's two different, I think both of those are viable avenues, absolutely open to hearing additional ones. I think we need a targeted person to be able to pursue and then have the teeth to be able to enforce. I think both of those would be good tools for resolving this issue. But there's other options too.
Force. Okay, so you all are comfortable with me proceeding the collector route and talking to Jennifer about the other route that includes the $500 in the ordinance currently.
Yeah, all of this has to come back through ordinance, so I'd like to know what our options are and see what we can, and see what other cities have done when faced with similar issues, and what things we would be able to do and how we can get it done.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Chris. Yeah.
Anyone else?
One of
Chris,
those businesses on there,
pardon?
one of the businesses on that list has a lawsuit against the city.
And who is that?
North End Ravens.
They have an ordinance, a lawsuit against the city?
Yeah,
From what year?
it's been dragging on for 5 years now. So I only mentioned that because I didn't know if anybody was aware of it. I don't know if that changes or affects how you approach that.
Well, North End Ready Mix was bought out recently, within the last year.
With Kerry no longer owning it.
I don't know if he's still a partner, but it's under another.
I only bring it up as something for you guys to look into.
Okay, Linda,
The collector doesn't get a paycheck from the city. Right?
that's correct.
So
Well, she gets
therefore,
$1. She gets $1.
Right. Well, yeah, but can we ask her to do city work without a paycheck?
Well, that would be part of the rewrite on the ordinance.
Yeah, when you expand duties and responsibilities of a position, especially an elected position, there's ways to do it, and we're looking for guidance on how to do it appropriately. Adjusting compensation at that same time, I think, is appropriate and an avenue that we can take. And I'm really looking at you because I'm saying words, but I'm looking for nods of yes, that's right. Okay, and that's something you can come back to the board with options for. Because yes, if we are able to make the change to the duties and responsibilities of an elected position, can we at the same time make the changes to compensation to properly compensate somebody for doing that additional work and additional play?
You can, but it wouldn't become effective until the next election cycle. Does that make sense?
Okay, I think that was some of the questions we had. So we're looking for a more 2025 view of how to get this done. So if we can have a long-term view and let's fill the gap using either city staff or something like that, like that's what we're looking for. Okay, cool.
Okay, anything else?
Sorry, kind of on that same topic, finding out that there's a long-running lawsuit against us. Is there any way that we could have like a list of legal actions against the city that are like current? Because it's weird not knowing as a board.
Yeah,
who
that's
has
the
actions
first
against
I've
the
heard
city.
of that, so.
We can find, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Alderman comments, please. Parks and Rec update.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, you need to set a meeting for September because you're required to have one meeting a month.
I was thinking about that. I think it'll be two. We can try for the 24th. And then I'll be more consistent next month. I'm still figuring out my evening schedule. So we'll propose Wednesday, the 24th
Okay.
at 6 p.m. to be consistent.
So Matt will have to post that in 24 hours.
Will that be enough time, Matt? Okay.
Yeah, as you say, it has to be posted with 24 hours notice. So
Okay.
anytime that day before.
Oh, okay. I mean, not that we might as well have it on Wednesday, but that's not enough time for people to plan. Okay, we'll do the 24th and summary of our first Pleasant Valley Parks and Recreation. We did a call to order. We welcomed and introduced people. We discussed ordinances. Yep, so we found out a few things. Discussed briefly the establishment of Hampton Park and Valley Park and the budget. And I was,
Is Valley Park a part of the city?
Valley Park, that is a city-owned and maintained established park.
It's not the civic organizations.
Valley Park is not.
Okay.
yep, so those were the discussions. I was nominated and I accepted to be the president of the Parks and Recreations. So we briefly are working on establishing a near-term goals for 1 to 3 years, long-term vision and project ideas, grant development, recruitment, grant research, and considering a donation box. And before I forget, you have a lovely in your packet. We are going to have Carve in the Park next month. Unfortunately, you didn't get my version of the image I wanted. It was very gruesome and scary. But I guess we don't want to scare our citizens. So there's a sign up from 12 to 3:30 with slots. We're looking for donations, pumpkin gatherers, and if you have any gobbledygook, I guess images and things like that. Adults and children can dress up and either come as yourself or someone else for that period. Thank you. Yes.
So did we get somebody to offer to donate a bunch of pumpkins for this, or are we gonna have to?
Well, I think we're gonna charge them, I think, $5 for it.
We're
but
gonna charge, so we're gonna have to go purchase them and get them here, or?
Yes.
Yes. So we're trying to, it would be great for all the aldermen and their family to come and carve a pumpkin.
Actually, I'd like to open it up to employees and their children, grandchildren.
That sounds like a win.
That would be a nice effort. And Matthew, did you want to say something?
I'm just going to say, you're talking about the pumpkins. I'm just started the process of trying to solicit donations of pumpkins. But I don't really have an update other than I'm going to at least try to see if we can get some of those or all of those donated.
Okay, very good.
All right, and if anyone on the board or externally has resources to identify, I might be able to get 3 donated gourds from a farmer. So I'll try to reach out in my connection of farmers to see if we can have donations and recognize them as a business in this metro area. So that covers it. Any other questions? Oh, I failed to do one thing. I'm going to put a list together of grants, potential grants that we can I can identify, and we have a grant writing committee to write grants so we can boost the funding and get some more activities that are family oriented and different age groups around our parks. Thank you.
Is Clark going to be spearheading that? Stephanie?
Who?
Is Clark going to be
No,
spearheading?
that was an error. I'll be spearheading that because I have some ideas for grants.
Okay.
And then now that I know the process to come to the committee here, I'll try to do it in advance so I can get approval before the deadline.
Okay.
To start writing grants.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go down to the administration. Matthew.
Okay, I provided a written report, and I have a couple of things that I need board direction on. The first, the 2025 tax levy, it's that time of year again. I got the notice from the county clerk. I've put the information in at the state auditor's site. So I've gone as far as I can. The next thing we need to do, really the only thing I need from the board is we need to set a meeting to a public hearing for that tax levy. It has to be posted for a week. So the soonest it will be posted will be tomorrow. So Wednesday, September 24th would be the first possible date to hold a meeting. So anytime between the 24th, I have to have it to the county clerk by the last day of the month. So we prefer not to get super close to that, but anytime after the 24th or after.
Anybody have any opposition to doing it on the 24th?
You've got the parks meeting.
Okay.
It's here. That's it. It's in here.
And the 25th.
I won't be available from there, the 24th to the 30th. I'm gonna be on vacation.
Good for you.
I'm not gonna be here.
Are you talking what time? Day or night?
Oh, I would say it needs to be in the evening at least, because it's gonna be a public hearing.
Thursday, the 25th at 6 in the evening.
That works for me. That doesn't work for you.
Okay. If you get enough people.
What day would work better for you?
Pardon?
Just laugh.
Oh,
Sorry. See, we have to do it after the 24th.
Yeah, we just need a date when 4 people are, 4
people. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Stephanie, are you available on the 25th at 6 in the afternoon?
In the evening, sure.
Evening.
I'll try to, it's gonna be a lot of days in here, but sure, why not?
it'll be short.
I hope so. Can I get a
Does that
timer?
work for you, Linda?
Yes, not that time.
Okay,
All right, 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
Post it for the 25th at 6 p.m. and go forward.
Great, thank you all. And then the other, one of the ones I had was the idea of whether our building permit fees were reasonable as opposed to other cities came up. And I may be a little premature in bringing this to you because what I found, I provided in the packet, but there's not a lot. But if the board has enough information to make the determination that our fees need to possibly be increased, that's something, if you have enough information and you want to talk about that tonight, that's fine. Otherwise, I will continue to collect information and bring it back.
Well, since it is a financial consideration, I'd rather refer that to the finance committee to take on and carve out some kind of determinations.
Yeah, absolutely. I would prefer to have a little bit more data to go off of, and then we can discuss it when we start discussing budget.
Should probably include that information rather than board actions.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, anything else, Matthew?
Sorry.
Oh, Chris,
I was gonna add to that, I was reading stuff on code to, in case Ada had to help Matthew with it. Or if I was asked anything, there's, section 500.050 under building codes and regulations, I'm sorry, it's 500.060. There's this paragraph, within that paragraph, there's a sentence, part of the sentence that says restricted from increase without a favorable vote of the citizens.
restricted from increase without what?
Restricted from increase without a favorable vote of the citizens.
Okay, so it would be a valid issue.
I don't know if that pertains to somebody agreeing or not.
We can take a look at it.
Not an attorney, but just notice that.
No, I think we're pointing that section out.
Okay, anything else?
One more. I had a note also about the bank reconciliation project that the consultant Gary Hunt was working on. I think we reached a point where it would be especially helpful for her to have access to our books. I know we talked about not letting her have that, but we have the ability to give her access only to a test website. It looks just like our regular production website within the Encode software, but it's test. Anything that was done in there would have no effect on our actual books. And I think essentially what she gave me, and what I think she says in her letter, what I was able to give her is at a minimum incomplete, and it was, I think she reached about as far as she could with what I was able to give her. So I think the next step, the next best step would be to allow her access to that, where she would be on site and have access to that test in the Encode software. So seeking board direction on that.
I would make a motion that we grant Ms. Terry Hunt the ability and access to the test environment of our county software.
During business hours?
During business hours only, so that it's not inconveniencing anybody else anytime between 8 and 5, right? Monday through Friday.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Thank you all. Promises, promises. Okay, fire department.
I did provide a written report. If you'll notice, I did not have any information on mutual aids received and given. Currently, the national reporting system is going under a change. We're going from a system called Inverse to a system called Nearest. And in doing so, we have some ad hoc reporting ability that was created in Inverse that I can draw data from. They shut those off. So the new system it has another reporting system. It's a lot, or an information gathering system that we're still kind of working out how to create those, to create the ability to gather the information that we need. So, I mean, I had to go through each run report for the month to figure out, just to get my numbers, because that also is, things are changing. So I'm going to get that worked out over time. I'll continue to give the amount of information I can to you.
When's the official cutover?
I think it's October. It's in different regions, different parts. They're staggered in different parts of the country throughout. But I believe ours is in October. So we'll start seeing we have to put when we all of our reports have to put them in the system. There'll be a period where we'll have basically both systems, so we'll learn how to put it in the new system, and we'll still have the old system back. And we can still draw data from the old system too. So, that's what's going on. Also, thanks to people that came to the 9/11 memorial. I really appreciate that. It's just something that is really important to us. Don't really care if we have a big crowd. It's just something that we want to do for us, and we certainly appreciate you guys coming. Along similar lines, we are planning an open house at the fire station on October 11th. This is in conjunction with Fire Prevention Week. That's Saturday. We'll do that from 10 to noon. And the theme this year for Fire Prevention Week is lithium-ion battery safety. So I actually went up to Batteries Plus to talk to them about if people have lithium-ion batteries that they want to get rid of, leave them at the station, as long as the Batteries Plus would accept them from us. And they will do that as long as the batteries are not damaged. If they are cracked or pillowed or swollen, because they will take it, but they charge $15 because their recycling efforts they have a different process for damaged battery. So I don't think that's something we want to. We'll be glad to take batteries that are no longer charging but are damaged. That's kind of my thoughts. All of the batteries will take, so if people want to drop off batteries, we can take them up for recycling. So, and then finally, you might have noticed on Stewart Road, we've been up there the last 3 or 4 days. Chris kind of gave us a heads up on the duplex that's being demolished, I think tomorrow. So
That's on hold, yeah.
It is. So anyway, so we were able to go in and do a lot of training that actually included doing some damage to the structure. We opened up the roof, and the walls, and practice bailing out of windows and breaking those windows out. So we got a lot of good training in over the last 3 days. So that worked out well for us. And that's all I have.
Okay, in the flyer, would you please put a notification about the batteries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the open house.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jared?
I provided a written report to you. Other than what's on there, I do not have anything for you.
No questions regarding the report? Well, you got off easy.
Thank you.
Chris?
We don't have a lot. Let's answer a lot of questions. Bulky item, I have put that out on every avenue that I can think of. Numerous pages of the cities, the police, city website, John Alice, to be put on the electronic sign board. Him referencing for residents and police to look at the rules. So I've got it out everywhere. Water department knows, they have flyers. Every year we have 25 to 30 people that put tires out and put other things out that aren't allowed. They don't get picked up, and then they're mad. So I just want to reiterate with you all that I've got it out there everywhere. If you're talking to people, running into people, please ask them to read the rules. And we'll get calls. you'll get them, dispatch gets them, I get them, and we'll just educate them on it, do the best we can. So it's a 1-day deal. They come in with about 6 trucks. They start at 6:30 in the morning. They're usually done by 2 or 3. We pay per ton. One of the major changes on the rules is they're limiting bulky items to 5 per household. Bulky item would basically be considered a mattress, a dresser, wall unit, huge headboard, that sort of stuff.
Any appliances, like washers?
Nothing with CFOs, washers, dryers, yes.
Okay.
Those would be a bulky item. Nothing, CFOs being, for those that might not know, air conditioners, refrigerators, all the stuff that emits that stuff into the air. That's federal always. They used to take tires. They don't anymore. That may be some of the confusion on tires. I have about 25 tires down at City Lot that we'll have to get rid of at a huge cost, based on when that switch over happened. Even though they were notified, we're refusing them anymore. Otherwise, we'll have a pile down there. That would cost a fortune to get rid of.
How do we have a pile of tires at City Lot? Are they tires off of our vehicles, like the city vehicles?
No, so the transition from them accepting tires to not taking the tires, I was instructed to take them.
Gotcha. So a couple of years ago, they made a transition and we held them.
Yeah, even though it stated no tires. Those are the trash providers' rules. They're not my rules. They're not any of you guys. It's very difficult to find a provider to do these bulk pickups because they aren't going to get money on it. But Jim's has done it as long as I've been here. This will be 14th or 15th time. Anybody have any questions on it?
It's been since 2010.
Yeah.
You're saying about the city has been taking tires since 2010, or
I think she
bulky items?
Bulky items.
Oh,
since
okay.
2010. The no tire kicked in, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 5, as fast as time goes by. And I will mention too, though, that some of the tires at City Lot were tires dumped at dead end streets and such. So they weren't all from, yeah, I mean, people dump stuff all the time, all over the place. If it's metal, it goes to the scrap metal pile. We have people that we call that'll come take our pile of scrap metal, or sometimes we take it and give a check to Matthew, what goes in the general fund.
I'm just making sure the city is not collecting tires at this point.
Last year, and I think the year before, we refused to take any tires. I had a conversation with anybody and everybody that left them out and said, the instructions were no tires allowed. We are no longer taking tires.
Okay, I just want to make sure the city's not picking up new tires to add to our pile.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
The big thing pretty much Ron covered. Just real quick, I just want to mention that I give this speech all the time whenever people are getting bids for stuff. Bids are all over the place. When I see valuations coming in on permits for same size roof, type of shingles, decks, everything, they're way all over the place. I know it's a pain in the butt to get 3 bids. You gotta be home, you gotta meet the guy, it's awkward. You're talking money, you know, nobody likes doing it, and I know this is big money on here because we're talking sewer scoping, you know, a huge city, but even on a deck, they're swaying from $6,000 to $22,000. So tell your friends, your family, you guys yourselves, get 3 bids. I wanted to mention to you, Matt, in your negotiating for pumpkins, if it helps in your negotiations, we can go pick them up. I mean, we have the ability to drop the tailgate on our F-350 or one of our F-250s, and they can pallet a crate of them right in the back of the truck, and then, of course, we'll unload. If that helps,
Thank you.
then offer it.
Can I add just the update
Yes, ma'am.
about the ESRI? So, there's been an email, Matt's been included, Chris. I reached out to ESRI, the software, and pretty much they asked me what I thought we might need. So I gave them like the wish list. So hopefully they'll get back to me soon and we can discuss computers, software, and I briefly touched bases with both chief of police and fire department to see if there's some way of using the same technology, and maybe we can, and then chief of police suggested that there might be an opportunity with Mark for ESRI software. So he's so willing to be volunteered or voluntold to check into it. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. Thank you.
That's all I have, unless anybody has anything.
Okay. Oh, there's something on the website, and I probably missed it in Alderman contacts, but this might not be appropriate, but there's a QR code that's red on I can send it, but if I was colorblind and I couldn't see red, that would be a problem. I'll just screenshot it.
Okay, do we have anything out of personnel?
So I took notes. Serenity is the chairwoman, although she is not present tonight. So there were three primary conversations at the last committee. One was about just job descriptions. We have some descriptions that haven't been looked at or touched in a number of years. And it's very important from a recruiting standpoint, from a job performance measuring standpoint to know what the duties, expectations, responsibilities are for different positions around the city. So more to come on that, but we are asking our department heads to look at the job descriptions for positions within their specific areas and come to the personnel committee with recommendations for changes. And those changes would be ratified by the full board. So more to come there, but we've got a pin in it for right now. There was the topic of pay for comparative positions around the state of Missouri, as reported by MML. We did a comparison of the public director specifically. However, more positions need to be looked at and how they compare not just across the state, but also where we sit with each position compares to each other. So if our average for one position is higher than an average for another, in comparison to the averages for those positions across the state, where's the equity there? How do we retain, engage, and motivate people for equitable compensation in that regard? So again, more to come. We have the data to support the analysis. I'll be coming to the next personnel committee with that data, information derived from that data, and a recommendation. And then last was our assistant city clerk has been working on an update to the personnel handbook. Minor tweaks, minor changes, just to update it with current names and stuff. That will be coming to the board soon for our approval and review. Anything to add, Matthew, from what our discussion was on Thursday?
I think you covered it all.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Anything out of finance?
Yeah, you get to hear me again. Okay, so you have both the budget report. Highly encourage you to review the budget report, but to add pictures to the giant pages and walls of numbers, we have the updated charts. You guys are growing familiar with them. These are not new. The numbers on the income, our revenue, has improved since the last month. We are still exceeding our expectations. by a higher percentage than we were before, roughly 7% higher than what we thought we were going to be based off of our averages over the last 4 years. On the expense, we are right on target. We are right in line, and slightly below it by like 1 percentage point or a fraction of it. So both of those are trajectorying good right now. The third chart is our running diff between income and expense, and that difference has expanded in the month of August from 371,000 to 470,000. So again, that is increased expense or increased revenue over decreased expenses. That margin is widening, and those are really good things to see at this point in the year. There's additional charts here or tables that include the numbers of how we calculated income versus expenses over the last 4 years. Essentially, that just tells you how did we get our percentages on the other charts. And then no change to the sales and use tax revenue. We will have an updated one in, I'm sorry, there is an updated 2025 through 8/31. So at the end of August, we have that one in, it's right now 491 for use tax and 706 for sales tax. So again, this point in the year, we are just lagging behind 2024, but looking really good. So no concerns on the numbers, on the financial numbers budget for right now. We are working on setting up meetings for the next stages of the budget. We've met with all of the department heads for the expense side. Matthew, can you provide an update on the income side, on the calculations for revenues?
I should have those complete. I should have it complete this week. So I'll reach out to you and we can get together. And we had our safety/department head meeting this morning, and I met with Chief Knutson about capital purchases. I have not met with Chief McGinley or Director Crum, but those will hopefully happen yet this week. So that's really the last thing. The revenue, I know we haven't been on the admin side, but admin, revenue, and the capital purchases are the last pieces before we can kind of move forward. I mean, we're not ready to present it forward, but we're ready to take a look at the whole budget.
Fantastic. Thank you for the update, Matthew. That's all I have. Does anyone have any questions about finance? Awesome, thank you.
New business? Do you have anything for new business? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Oh, okay. Second by Dean. Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Halligan.
Yes.
Toby.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Showers.
Yes.
Freeman.
Thank you all for showing up.
Yeah.
Did you clean it up? Or let's go pick everything it up?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna do reporting. I applied for They called me. Confirmed that I'm still having it. And two, I was just ready to hang out and have a second. Okay. I called Nicole, I'm like, should I be excited? Wrong your word. She's like, I'm not excited. I know this is day 2. So I don't.
It has to say this week.
Most of the rules and smaller towns have buffer.
I think that's all.
Oh, sure.
The 4896 is like, but I was doing a little bit of research on it today online, just trying to read about it.